drop it.
There we go. Yeah, we're good. We're good now. Okay, good. All right. There we go. All right, so we're all set. All right, cool. Let's get right to it. Jump into the charts. All right, love you guys. All right, we're not going to do the roll call right now. We're just can you get on over here? We're gonna look and see what we're dealing with. You guys, we're gonna focus on mastery of trend tracker, right? In conjunction with our side, right? And really help me understand, like, hey, I don't have to hold the whole move. I don't need a perfect entry. I just need 1%, 1% or more. Okay, so let's just say here, guys, right? I use the entry point value, right? What is 1%? This is a target number, right? This is great to have. So it's going to hold you in check when you go ahead and you edit, your port size, basically your target of 1% or 1.5%. Okay, it keeps you honest. And of course, when you enter a trade and you're like, oh my God, I made more money than I deserve, it helps you choose sort of kind of like target where you should be putting your stop. All right. To preserve the 1% day or 1.5% day and how we got a 3-4%. Just take it. Okay. So here we are, right? Trade design here. This happened at 9 a.m. Really nothing to do here. As you guys can see, yellow, 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 yellow. This is trend tracker, right? Yellow. I'm telling you, yellow, yellow, yellow. Hold on. Hold up. Right. And then we get the break here, of which upon that break, my God, yeah. This trade here sets you free. It just literally does, right? And so what we're doing here is we're looking at price action. Now we know we're bullish, guys, right? And how do we know we're bullish? Well, of course, trend tracker is saying we're bullish with green. We have confluence here, things are green. And we see that RSI, the moving average on RSI is above 50. So that's what we want to pay attention to. Now, we won't start considering any type of reversals or even have any assumption of reversals until we see that the other side here right below the moving average. Okay, this here is critical for anyone who's even contemplating the idea of a reversal. Wait for your other side to break below your moving average. Right, that is telling you that price is behaving below average, right, relative to a trend. We're trending up, we're trending up, we're trending up. Oh, recent price is trending below average. Okay, so that's what we're able to interpret with this here. Now, does that mean it's a trend down? No, it does not mean that. It just means relative to the average, the strength of the move is weakening and therefore below average, and that's where you will see price start to hit down. However, you maintain bullishness, guys, if your other side, the yellow line, stays above 50. Okay, so it gives you that additional confirmation as you're watching this happen here. You're looking at your moving average like, hey, we're above 50. My trend tracker is nice and green. We got solid momentum here. We can hold. Okay. Now, we can hold up until we get our marker here in Trend Tracker, this yellow marker. You guys see this happen now, pre-market. Let's go ahead and understand this trade a little bit. So we had the entry here at 6:45 a.m. Now, I'm not telling you guys to go ahead and trade pre-market, just showing you the concept here. So we have an entry here. We have the 200 there, right, guys? We're not taking a trade unless we're below the 200. Right, that confirms bearishness. Okay, so you can see consolidation, 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 nothing to do, nothing to do. And then at this moment right here, all right, cool. Now we're in a trend. Now we got a couple of things that we consider here. We broke the 200. We got confluence. We have everything pretty much telling us, hey, we're coming on down. Remember, this was your signal, but this was your entry. And then, of course, we have RSI. If we pay close attention to the RSI here, if we pay close attention there, guys, we'll see RSI comes all the way down, and then it breaks its moving average here, right? We get a continuation. Now, just because it broke its moving average doesn't mean we go up. No. Why? Again, guys, moving average is below 50. Okay. And so what we're doing here is we're paying attention to this and saying, all right, maybe we secure the back here. Oh, wait, we have another ribbon developing down. Cool. It's once again below its moving average. And then we got another ribbon coming on up, right? So the ribbon here should be a clue like, hey, things are changing a little bit, especially when you see that the RSI is breaking away from its moving average. And although so subtly, you can see the slope of the moving average begin to change, right? Letting us know we are in an uptrend, right? And then it's 100% confirmed once we break 50. So 50 is the line of demarcation here, right? It is with most indicators. When you use something like Trend Tracker or MACD, 0 is the line. Something with like RSI, 50 is your line. Once again, above 50 with the moving average, you have more confirmation that we're trending up. So what this can do is also help you with your bias, right? Because you don't want to go ahead and trade against the trend. And so a lot of people use the RSI wrong. RSI broke below its moving average, or breaks below its moving average. I'm going to go short, but wait, it hasn't broke below 50. So you're sort of kind of trading against the trend. And what we do here at 1348 is we make sure we do what? We trade with the trend. So make sure you incorporate, the RSI in your arsenal, especially if you have an issue with being a contrarian, right? Even though you see everything on your system lining up, right? But you still have that sudden urge, like, oh, it's going to go down. No. Make sure you're being objective with your trades here, okay? Very, very, very important. So here, sort of kind of like missed the boat. I really did miss the boat. And really, really unfortunate. I hope some of you, have developed, okay, can I get some hands here? Who has developed trust in this system? So much so that you see something like that with the indicators of a Trend Tracker and you're making sure you got all of your alignments. If you're taking a trade and you're gone, right? So I know Splatnik make money. We got Scott, Matt, Rail, Mike B, Montrese, King. Oh, everybody. Okay. The whole camp. You guys are submitting to the system, right? You know, you've seen it, Matt. Good. You've seen it. It's when things are in alignment and that Trend Tracker signal is green. It's like, hey, let's go, right? Then it's simply a matter of what's your goal? Is it 1% or 1.5%? Now, I'm gonna talk about something, right? This will probably help you or prevent you from getting like chopped up so much, right? Or having to enter trades more than you need to. And that is with, okay, we enter a trade, obviously trade design, guys. Trade design, right here. Our stop starts right here, right? If we got into the trade, that's our stop, right? Or we use the DSR stop, right? Wherever it puts us relative to the entry. Okay. So honestly, if I were to enter the trade right now, I know that my stop is here. This is the bottom half. That's my stop. And this is my take profit, right? So if you nailed the entry, Your stop is all the way down here. Now, as price is moving in your favor, you have to adapt to mindsets, right? Whether you want to take the risk off the trade, okay? You want to take the risk off the trade, or you want to secure 1% or better, right? Now, this is something when you guys are jumping into the trade and you have a little notebook on the side and you have to make that agreement to yourself, right? Do you want to make the trade free or do you want your 1%? Now, usually when we're just jumping into the market, I'll be honest, right? Everybody wants to get their 1% in the morning be done, right? But that first trade, I think that first trade, the mindset you should be having with your first trade is make it free. Why? Because if you lose on that first trade, it doesn't alter your game for the second trade. Now, the second trade, let's go ahead and say we win the second trade and we're up 1.5%. And there's an opportunity for a third trade. The opportunity for a third trade, we say, okay, I'm up 1.5% because my first trade was break even. So I got 1.5%. Maybe I want to take another trade on my third trade, right? Obviously, we're not taking any more than 3. And what we do is then we go ahead and risk the 0.5, right? We guarantee that we're up 1%. Now we got the 0.5. So what are we doing since we're risking the 0.5? What we end up doing is we enter the trade. We then apply our stop and we let it do its thing. That's a trade that now becomes whatever happens. You've decided you're going to risk 0.5. You banked 1. Now we're not moving our stops anywhere until you have decided, okay, well, that 0.5 is hit a 2-to-1. That's giving me 2% or 1%, right? There's a 2 because you're going half, 0.5. It gets you a 2-to-1. You're up an additional percent. Now you're up on the day 2%, right? So remember, when you're coming out of the gate, especially when market open, the goal isn't to hit that 1% immediately, right? The goal is to get yourself to break even immediately. That way it doesn't alter your day if it comes back against you. Now, truth is, guys, if the trade's not going to work out, it's not going to work out. Okay. If you're in the trade and you're at break even and you see it's 1% or you see it's 1.5% or something like that, like, hey, all right, cool. Take a profit, move on with the day. But if it stops you out at nothing, right? You lose nothing. Okay. So make that a habit. Your very first trade, be proactive in making that very first trade free. That way your psychology isn't affected for the rest of the trades. Does that make sense, guys? Right? Because trading is psychological. Does that make sense? I want to see some hands. Okay. Cool. Okay. Yes. Okay. So now I'm going to say something a lot of you might not like, especially the dudes. Right? Guys, I need you to trade like you're a woman with a sugar daddy and or a husband. I know it sounds weird. It sounds weird, right? But I want you to come into trading, fellas, ladies, we're going to talk about this, right? I'm going to be inclusive of you. But when we talk about trading, it's psychological. Fellas, I want you to come into trading like you have a sugar daddy or a supportive husband. Why? Because now we're going to remove the rest from your life. Now, what we've come to the conclusion of, and when I look at the stats and I look at how the women trade and how the men trade, okay, this is the thing. A lot of the women in our community either have support from their husbands, they may have a sugar daddy, who knows, right? We do have some single moms out there. And then we have business owners, et cetera, right? But they're smart. They're removing emotions from it because they have something to fall back on, right? And 9 times out of 10, you hear a woman, when she says, I'm going to trade, right? When she says I'm going to trade, it's so that she can make her own money. So fellas, what's happening here? And I want you to think about this, right? is the reason why you're putting so much pressure on your trade is because as a man, natively, inherently, genetically encoded to be, if you're a real man, there are a lot of faggots out there this day and age, right? Modern male is a fucking idiot. But us old school dudes, we're conditioned to what? Be providers. So when we're trading, we're not thinking about making the most money. We're thinking about, okay, we make the money because we got bills to pay. We got to take care of our kids. We got to take care of our wife. If I don't make any money, my wife's going to leave me. If I don't make any money, if I'm losing our savings, oh no, right? There's a whole lot of pressures, right? Because men are thinking about, I got to make money to take care of my family. When women make money, she's thinking about, I got to make money to take care of myself. It's very, very, very different. And men, we allow it, right? There's no higher status symbol than a man who's working, taking care of his family so that his wife or his woman can chill at home, pursue a passion, do something. For me, that's the ultimate flex, right? Is you holding it down at home, brother? Good. Right? Your wife able to do whatever the fuck she wants to do? Good. That's the way it's supposed to be, right? So it's that's how you got to think about it, right? You got to stop bringing that pressure to the trade and just look at the trade objectively, okay? Now, the other side to this, the women inherently genetically coded, right? This is what they do. They're naturally submissive, right? Now, I'm not saying they're being submissive to me because I got no one under this desk. But naturally, if they're going to be told something and that something has an immediate benefit to them, they're going to listen more times than none, right? They're going to listen more times than none. The fellows here, they constantly ask questions. They want to know how it works and why it works. Like, shut up, bro. We don't care. Just get it done. They tell women like, hey, look, if this is how you're going to make money, this is what is happening. This is what it's doing. Can you do that? Yeah, sure. Right? It's in your favor, right? I'm not trying to be sexist here, but it's just a natural thing, right? Women want to be led, believe it or not, fellas. And if your woman isn't listening to you, it's less of an impression on her, more of an impression on you, because you ain't doing the job, bro. Just facts, right? So, dudes, take your ego out of this game, okay? Look at it objectively for what it is. Stop trying to over-engineer things. It's a wrap. What you see on this chart is what it is. What you see on this chart is what it is. It's never going to be what you think it is, guys, because when you think or when you assume, make an ass of you and me. If you make an ass of you and me, then, oh my God, 1348 doesn't work. Now, whose fault is that? It's your fault. You assumed. You started thinking. So you make an ass of yourself. I ain't going down with you, bro. I'll pay my bills. Right? So what we see here objectively, right? What we can see here is, yes, the market's trending up. Well, we can see clearly there's loss of strength. So therefore, I'm going to go ahead and sit on my hands. I am not going to force this trade. We're not forcing trades here. Okay? Nothing to force. Everything tells us, guys, when we look at the RSI and we see RSI and its moving average just literally becoming kissing cousins, nah, I don't trust it. I don't trust that outcome. Kissing cousins lead to fucking retarded babies. It's just true. Now, if you are looking for an entry, the entry is simply going to be a trade design. Right? That's a right entry. This trade, listen, this is how this works, guys. This is how this works. Okay? You got a trade design. Cool. We're waiting for it. Right? This is my entry up here. This is that moment of truth. Here, nah, bro, right here. Mm-mm. Why? Why? Because the pivot happened here. Money was made here. And what is the current temperature of the market today? The current temperature of the market today is take what you can, every man for himself, because once Trump starts talking, holy hell, the amount of volatility that gets introduced into the market, once that man, they, like, guys, we all need truth accounts now. And we got to follow that son of a bitch. He posts something, market reacts. That's scary. That is scary. That one person has that much influence. Okay? So at the end of the day, right, we have to really think about it. If the market made its move and the money was made, here, okay, don't go ahead and start chasing it. Why? Because the only time the money is made and when the money is real is when you sell and secure that bag. So when he's sitting in a trade and he's just hoping that this thing just keeps going up and up and up and up, this shit ain't real. It's not real. Like her tits, not real. Just, we're not doing it. Right? So if it's not real, it looks good. Right? Like, damn, looks good. She looks good. Looks good. Right? But it's not real. Not real until you secure the bag. My God. I think I just offended a couple of people out there. I don't mean to. I'm sorry. But truth is, trading's life. Okay? It's not real until you make it real. Not real until you make it real. So, yeah. This here looks like we could possibly melt up. We would assume it melt up, right? Now, if you cannot find opportunity here, okay, maybe go to a smaller time frame. Now, the smaller time frame comes with its own risks. However, the smaller time frame is also doing its job right now. The smaller time frame is telling you to do nothing. Okay? Telling you to do nothing. Now, when I'm on the 1 minute, oops, let me fix that. When I'm on the 1 minute, guys, if I'm on the 1 minute, I want to see 2 bars closed down here with trend tracker. 1, 2. Right? Then I start considering it on the third, right? If you zoom out, very rare that we get just one candle print, right? And this is after hours nonsense. But we're talking about actually in the day. Why is this keep happening? 1 second, guys. Sorry. Right? When we get to actual market hours, you can see that it's fairly consistent. You're not going to get too many fake out candles. Okay? So you wait on the 1 minute. When trend tracker says go, wait for 1 or 2 prints before you jump in. Okay. As it stands right now, there's nothing to do on the 1 minute. Gray candles here, a whole lot of consolidation. RSI below its moving average on the 1 minute, but trying to maintain itself above 50. Now we go to the 5 minute. What does this translate to? Well, it translates to this. Consolidation right now. That's what it translates to. Okay. Now, if I turn on, well, guys, you see that there's levels, right? There's a level up here. We just well above this level here, right? So we have to zoom out. Now I have to turn on my predictive levels. This is done for you, right, guys? The system gives you the predictive levels. And what we're gonna do is zoom out a couple of days, maybe 3 days, and see if we can find something. Level, let's see if we can find something. We got something right here, maybe. That's what I'm seeing. Right there, maybe, yeah. Okay. So we found a level a little bit beyond the 3, 4, 5 days, because I just really couldn't find anything, but we found something. So this becomes a level. Now, do we take this trade? No. No. We know where it's going, guys. It's coming up here to 19,155. We know it's coming up here. All right. Now, there's opportunity on the move down. There's opportunity when others seek profit. Okay. So what makes price go down? Right. Now we know what makes price go up, right? People buying. That's what makes price go up. But what makes price go down? Well, there's two elements of it. It's securing the bag and fear, right? There's a couple of things. You're selling because you're losing. You're selling because you're securing the bag, or you're selling because of fear. Now, when you're buying why? Because the market's moving on up, right? You're buying because you are an optimist in the market, right? Not a contrarian, and all of that is bringing the market up. But there's actually more components to the sell side than there is to the buy side. Does that make sense, guys? Right? Everybody wants to buy. In most cases, you just ask to blaze at Robinhood. In most cases, that's probably the only thing you can do is buy. You can't short. Right? So let's get back to the chart here. We have this level here. We have it defined. Let's find out. Okay. So now that we have this level, and we also know that we have another level up here, which is the top of the trade design. Okay. What we're going to do is we're going to pay very, very, very close attention to this level. We're going to pay attention to how RSI reacts to the level. And I mean, I'm not a betting man, but hey guys, if we were in this trade and we identified that level, we were setting our sell order just shy of it, right? And then you made some profit. So everyone following along today, who's having fun? There's money made. There's money made here. Like, there's money made. We just need to be patient. Okay? No one needs to force a trade here. Absolutely no one. If you're forcing a trade, then you're pretty much gambling. That's not the point of what we do. That is not the point of what we do. Okay. So now we're looking at this and, oh my, come on, right? Now, all this does is like, whenever you see a big gap like this, guys, we see the market is like, okay, well, we could clearly see, well, maybe we can't clearly see this, right? I got to make this a little darker, right? We go ahead, let's make that darker, make it solid, right? Solid yellow. Now you guys can see this pretty clearly. So as we're in this trade, we are saying, okay, we have a level here that we break. Yes. All right. We have another level here that we break. Yes. We have a level here. Consolidating at the level. Right. But you see a big space like this way up here. You have to zoom out and make sure you're not caught with your pants down. Now, normally I like to zoom out 3 trading days. However, in today's market, with today's volatility, you need to make sure that you're dotting your I's and crossing your T's and never, ever, ever caught with your pants down. Never. So we zoomed out, we found a level, and there you go. And that's what happened. Great. So I made 10%. That's great. So you guys see what's happening here? Consolidation right at this level. There was a rejection at this level. RSI right here in the 5-minute. RSI is still kissing his moving average. I don't know if I want to trust it. Right now, I could assume that it's going to want to come back up. Based on everything, the trend is, trending up, but there's just too much structure right here. Now, let's say you want to take this trade. Sure, do it. What's going to be your stop? Guys, we took this trade, right? So in this trade, well, wait, let's fix this here. And then zoom on in. So we took this trade. Where would the stop be? Let's see. Where would the stop be? Oh, the stop would actually be the break below this level. No, below the band, below this level. Yes, you guys used the DSR, right? Used the DSR, came up here. My stop was, let's see it come right back up, but it is basically below this level. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put priority with the level being my stop to limit my risk and make my risk tighter, because we were already way up here. You see? Yeah. Right. So I should have put my stop there. Why? We were already overextended. So I would have used that level as my risk. Makes sense? Okay. So now we got some volatility happening here. The market says we're going down. So thank God I only have one contract there. Right. Now the level, if you would have set your stop at the level because we came in when it was hyper extended, right? We put a discount on the level, right, for our trade. And that would have protected us from getting knifed. Now I only did a one NQ contract, guys, because right, it's my money on the line. Right. So if I'm going to trade my trade, then I'm going to trade my trade. Right. And my goal is to what? Make money. So this is me trading my trade, guys. We have a couple of things that happen here. One of those things was I was obviously wrong. So let's get in on it. Now, I lost a couple of thousand or 1,000 at or about on that trade. Right here, we have a yellow. We have RSI coming down below its moving average. I'm now up 3,800 at 4,000. I'm going to take that trade. Why? Because there's a level right there. Right? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my stats, right? Because the guy saw me lose one trade. And then I immediately saw what the RSI did relative to its moving average, saw what the RSI did relative to the 50 line of demarcation. Then, of course, our system gave us that yellow print. So, the goal here is to make $500 a day, guys. $500 a day to change your fucking life. I don't care what anybody says. Right? So, let's see my reports today. And my performance. Okay. So it was 2 trades, 50%, and I made $2,700. I'm done. All right, done. Right. So let's go ahead and recap this. And I want you guys to come back to this video. I want you guys to go into the Discord and find the partner program, sign up, become a partner. Then send your loved ones this video with your partner link. Let's get people signed up and let's start changing lives. Okay. So here we go. We know step by step, we knew that this trade was going to break down. Did we not? This is why we set the level there. Right? We paid attention to consolidation at this level. And what I wanted to do, and of course I would have made a lot more money if I set my stop here, because that would have been my risk, because I want to discount my risk, and I want to discount my risk in objective areas. So would have the DSR worked? Yes, but my risk would have been at a premium. I'm already entering a high-risk trade, so I need to be extra cautious, right, guys? Makes sense? So whenever I can discount my risk, Because I'm taking a higher risk trade, I most certainly will. And I will be looking at levels to make sure that that is something, that I could, set my risk, right? Alternatively, if you're unsure of a level, then trade small, right? Trade smaller, okay? Don't go at your full allocation, smaller. And basically says, so Robo Hobo, so it says stop loss when you're sorry, dude. Let me get this out of the way here so I can get what he's saying. So stop loss when you see structure form. And yeah, once again, this is why dudes are fucking idiots. What did I say? You said stop loss when you see the level. Your stop loss has to be at a level. Again, this is just a guy who just making things overly fucking complicated, right? What did we do? We found a level. Because of the level, we had an idea where my reject. Because of a level, and I decided to enter the trade. That's where I was going to set my stop. That's it, right? When you see structure, on a trade like this, guys, it's because it's usually a level, right? So pay attention to your level more so because we give it to you. We give you the level. Now, let's go ahead and clear the drawings. Okay. And we have, let's say Alvarez. I don't know. We have the 200 here. We also have the G2 here. Right. And so, guys, we're still bullish. Even though this is saying bearish, we're still bullish. However, it's not an actionable moment. And the system is telling you right now, don't do it. Don't do it. Now, when we go ahead and fall back on the rules of our system, what did this do? Clearly, it just came right back down to the 200. Wow. Now, should I have taken that trade? Absolutely not. Right. It was a high risk maneuver. Right. So now this is a question that you have to ask yourself. When you assess yourself and you're trading, are you risk averse or are you risk seeking? Right. Are you setting tight stop losses just for the sake of setting tight stop losses to protect your ego from absorbing a loss? Or are you setting the tight stop loss based on a level or based on a line on the chart? Right. Have you had enough repetitions taking trades, right, where you understand the difference between a high risk trade and what we call a high probability setup, which we would tell you right here in our genie. Now, I don't know if you could see it. It's pretty small. Let me go ahead and make it bigger. It always cracks me up, man, right? Think about that. Like, wait a second. Let me make it bigger. All right, so we made it bigger. And it's a no trade zone. Okay? Right there. No trade zone. There's nothing to do. There's nothing to do. Are we making sense today, guys? Make sure you share these videos with friends because they need to see, especially if you're in this program, they need to see in real time. We don't fuck around and find out. Gaetano, yes. It was a rejection from a level that we found. We zoomed out to find that level. Okay. All right. So we removed the drawings. Now, it says we're going down. And there are a couple of levels here. Okay, here we go. A proper question. I really, perhaps really annoy me. But I'll answer the question. Okay. In trading prop firm, should I be setting my 1% based on what I need to pass? Pod. This is yes. Okay, so Danny Mitch, if you're saying yes to you, and I'm going to say yes. So it's 1% of what your put value is. So if your drawdown is $4,500, your 1% is $45, right? If it goes high as 10%, that is 450. Now, if you're going to go as high as 10%, you got to remember your risk is bigger. So your stop needs to be tighter. There's nobody who should be trading a prop firm without a stop loss. And this is the reason why people with regular accounts are outperforming the prop traders, because the prop traders have to worry about trailing drawdown, end of day drawdown, nonsense. Whereas a person with their own money, okay, can play their roles, play their trade. Trade their trade. It's kind of like riding a motorcycle. You hear this common theme of ride your ride. Don't worry about what anybody else is doing. Well, trade your trade. But prop firms force you to care about what they're telling you to do. Oh, I can't dollar cost average. Oh, I can't, there's so many limitations, right? Oh, I can't make more than 50%. What the what is to make money? That's how much money I can make. If I want somebody to tell me how much money I can make, I'll go get a fucking job. There's a reason why I'll never get a job. I'll be sitting down, talking to someone who fucking hates their life, who makes a fraction of what I make a year compared to what I make in a day. It's true. It's a whole lot of ego and a whole lot of arrogance. And knowing that by following the rules and following this system, I can do what I do, and no one out there can touch me. And you guys deserve to have that confidence too. But that only happens through repetition and following the system. Right. Gabe, you okay? Me, I'm okay. What's happening here? People are asking if I'm okay. Let me see if there's, I don't know. What's happening here is I'm using like this broadcast software, and it may or may not be changing my voice. I don't know. I could monitor myself. Check. Yeah. No, I'm good. It seems that way. The gamer made his money. Did you make your money, brother? Yeah. We keep teaching my covered all the time. Yeah. Sally, I missed due to work, but not chasing. Marl is cool. You don't have to chase, man. You don't have to chase. Ain't nothing out there worth chasing. Fellas, ain't nothing out there worth chasing. That includes women. Don't delete. All right, let's see. What is the market telling us? What is the market telling us? Let's get back to this. Oh Jesus. All right. The comments are insane. Okay, so we had this trade design down, right? And we had the system telling you, don't take it. When I commissioned Hot Potato to do this, right? It was something that was bothering me all weekend. And I'm like, our trades are great. Our system performs at a very high rate, 65, 70%. But how do we get the students, right, to realize that 65, 70%? And we are then able to articulate, hey, you know the rules, you dumbass. Don't take this trade. Right? I mean, how many people would have taken this trade? Let's be honest. right? But you got the system here saying no trade zone, right? This is no trade zone. So, interesting question. Gabe, would you get your fix back on live? No, I love the kid. He's doing his own thing. He's doing great. You know, he has his own system. He's doing his own thing. If he ever wants to collab, I'm cool. Let me, bro, reach out to me. Yeah, but yeah, he's doing more of like a swing trader type of setup. So, but there's some people who just like that. I'm here to provide my services. If they're struggling, do not trade your own money or props to succeed. Platinum, 100%. 100%. People are like, okay, so you got to, you know, people say trade with dummy money, right? So get a practice account, but don't do it for too long, right? So here's my thinking. When you have a practice account and then you have a solid system and then you're following the rules, right? It doesn't take very long to figure out that you can submit to that system. I am not teaching penny stocks. No fucking way. No fucking way. Penny stocks. Richard, love it, love it. It is on admission. System dev has limited a lot of my dumbass mistakes from the past. By the way, ready premiere? Never. I don't want that responsibility. Dude, guys, I could barely keep you guys in fucking order. Imagine the goddamn town. No way, I don't want it. I do not want it. It's, you know, man. Okay. I'll be frank here, right? Because, there's nothing to do in the markets until there is something to do. Of course, the system told you don't do it. So we're good, right? But, man, right in this community, man, made me lose faith in humanity. It's like, wow. Some people just, wow. Oh, man. Some people. If you know, you know. The guys have been here from the beginning. You understood how volatile freaking even our market chat was. How much drama there was, right? It was a shit show. I don't want to deal with that anymore. Play, do it. Oh man, I'm exhausted. For me, I just want to trade, jump on my bike, go for a ride, relax, and lower my fucking blood pressure. Seriously. Let's see. If starting a smaller personal portfolio, what would be an acceptable size to fund with? Whatever amount you're cool with. Yeah. Like, honestly. It has to be an amount that you give zero fucks about. As I talked about earlier in the stream, it has to be an amount that is like, it don't matter. I got a man to take care of me. Right? Yeah, we talked about this. Right? So ladies, go ahead and get if they have a significant other, man, and taking care of them, right? And allowing themselves to go ahead and pursue trading as a passion or whatever, they have something to fall back on. One, to make sure you have something to fall back on. Two, whatever you're putting into that account, you give zero fucks about. Now, 10,000 is a great amount. Some people say, like, man, 10,000 is a lot. Maybe. But 5,000, do you care about 5,000? Okay, go for that. Some people say, well, 5,000 is a lot. Well, maybe. Now, here's the deal. If Just hearing AMC stuff, yeah, it's just like fucking, it just guys my gears. Okay, so here's the other thing, right? Do we have some students that started with a 500 and built it from there? Yes. Oh, yes. Yes. Do we have some students that started with 5,000 and built it from there? Oh, yes, absolutely. Right. There's no magic number, right? But it starts with you here. Are you okay with just fucking losing it? You got to treat the money you're funding your account with the same way you treat your money that you're starting a prop firm with. If you're spending $50 to start a prop firm account, do you give a fuck about it? Probably not. If then that's when they get you, right? It's like, we got a gambler here. He just keeps blowing account after account after account. Now, Ann started with $700. Jesus, Ann. Yeah, prop firms are fucking exhausting. They're dumb. They're dumb. Is there any minimum? No, the minimum is your minimum, honestly. With futures, it's not like stocks, right? Where you need $25,000, to day trade. With futures, you can just day trade. Coming back here, a lot of nothing. We're 50% just chilling. So on, right? Now, if this was a little bit too late for you, right? This STB, well, it's not the STB, but it's a trend tracker notification that the trend is over. When we go back into GT Legends, we can turn on the STB line. And when we turn that on, it had us getting out here. It had us getting out at 9:55. Jesus. Imagine that. A system that actually prevented you from getting knifed. Incredible. Guys, you got to help me change the world here. And I'm giving you guys commissions, man. Become a partner. And tell your loved ones about this. Show them this video. Click it. We had an entry here, signaled. We get in at or about here. It runs up. We get this candle come right down. We get that yellow print. How, yeah, take that profit. Your day is probably done right there. Now, comes on down. Cool. Hits the 200. Cool. We get the yellow print. Done. Done. That's done, right? Come on. It's done. It's right there in the chart. Williams started with 1,500. Nice. Also, guys, I also want to make a challenge. I'm putting it out there. If you're gonna post in the community games, if you're gonna post your games at all, if you're gonna post your platform games, or whatever the hell you're gonna post, I really don't care. But maybe you should get onto TradeZilla and post your day performance as opposed to just your gain. It's easy to go ahead and fall in love with the game, but not tell the story of how you got there, right? Because that is the true indication on whether or not you traded your plan for the day, whether you're just a good trader or a bad dude, just a fucking gambler. It's just, yeah. So what I would like to start seeing in our community is people posting their daily. If you're going to post your gains, you better be ready to post your win rate, your risk to reward, right? Someone posted like, I made $1,000. Now, if you made $1,000, but it cost you $10,000 to make that $1,000, if you turned 10K to make 1K, no. You're fooling yourself. Okay? So, here we go. Looks like we might have something happening. Now, when does that happening happen? Well, there's two things. One, we need, okay, guys, truth is, we're still bullish. No, we're above the 200 right here, right? So what happenings do we need to happen? We need our side back above his moving average. Yes. Right? Because right now it's below average. So therefore price is showing, hey, we're below the average here for the morning. Right? So David O says when it breaks GG to the downside right here, that's when you're bearish. If we're looking for a continuation, and there's a continuation, we need our side to break its moving average, and we need another green bar print. We need another green bar print. Oh, wait, change it to green. People are confused. We need another green bar print right here. Right? Will we see a BBC candle in this play? I don't know. We do have a level here. And guys, typically when you get a very aggressive candle here, you do get that 50% retracement. Usually this happens. You can't expect a 50% retracement back to, basically the gap fill, right? This is a gap fill. If it's going to move on up, it's filling its gap. This was a very, very aggressive candle. So, yeah. We'll see. But what we're looking for is a green print here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait for the market to print me another green bar there. How about that? Or we could see how it's done on the 1 minute. How about that? Okay, so the 1 minute, we don't have any bar prints. We have our side green above its moving average, but we don't have any bar prints. Interesting. Remember, guys, we need on the 1 minute, we need 2 green bar prints, right? This will help us from getting faked out. Well, yeah, that's true right there. Yeah, you get the 2 bar prints. You get a third, you're good to go. You see what I mean? You need the 2 bar prints, and then we look for that third, and then we're going. So when does that happen? On the 1 minute, it happens here at 19/126.75 at or about on the break of GC on the 1 minute. Okay. So you would set an alert here, then wait for 1, 2 green bars, and try on the third bar there, make a quick scalp. Probably looking at money inside this area here. Right. That's how that would be done. But for now, ain't nothing to do. Ain't nothing to do. Now, if the 5 minute gives us a trade design, it's very, very, very possible. Things are looking to align itself once again. Then we go long. But as of right now, no trade zone. Really, really, really simple. Make sense, guys? Let's see what we get. Let's see what we get. Hey, we're here. We're here. We're right at that moment where we break this level. And we can then chalk all this up to the market needing a breather. People are repositioning, getting better deals, right? Remember, the game is about buy low, sell high. Okay. So we're just going to wait for that. Make sense? Yeah. Guys, anybody can do this. You don't have to be, some whiz or some guru or whatever everybody else on social media wants you to believe about them, so that, you can buy their coaching and teaching. See, I'm not really coaching and teaching. I'm giving you guys a goddamn system that you can see with their own eyes. Seeing is believing. Seeing is believing. Don't we have a trial? Potato, what are you? Do I have a trial at 3:30 for the end where somebody just jumps in and they can see this and then just see with themselves? But I have nothing to hide here. I ain't dropping no game coin. Hell no, I never drop a game coin. I am against crypto. We got a 7-day free trial. Thank you, Hot Potato. It's a 7-day free trial. You get to see for yourself. Right? You get to see for yourself. Right now, there's nothing to do. Oh, the rejection. Oh my God, the rejection. Jesus Oh boy. Oh boy. You know, so damn it. Gotta love levels. Gotta love levels. Oh man. Even if you follow 30 pretty across and have patience, you can make money. Just 30 pretty across, nothing else. You can. You can. You don't have levels. You don't have contacts. Right? This year, get you profitable and convincingly profitable much faster because you have context to literally everything that's happening in the market. Literally everything. Why do we reject? Oh, there's a level, right? That's a great candle. Huh, we should have taken a trade anyways, right? We got X here. RSI is below his moving average. Huh? Yeah, we can see that. Is RSI below 50? Well, we have to wait. Now, if RSI is going to be below 50 and we want to take this trade down, we have to break the 200. Yes, we do. Now we got GT 500 there. Is it, is it safe to take the trade on and break up the 200 if we got the GT 500 there? Probably not, right? Might get a bounce there. Okay, we break GT 500. Where's our target? That's 0.74 here on the level. If it breaks that level, we bring our stop down, protect it. Where's our next stop? Right down here, 1.28. We have context. We have context, right? And that's why this system works so well because you have context. And as long as you're interpreting everything on the chart the same exact way every single time, you're going to have consistent results. I mean, we have traders here who win like 90% of their trades, like some really like god level shit. Like it's wild. They tend to be women, not dudes, women. Way to go. Ladies, you're killing it. You're killing it. Good stuff. Well, there's quite a few. Protein here, it's a trade 1348 RSI. Yeah. Okay, so the RSI. So this RSI is basically the RSI that allows us to do spear strength or the traditional RSI. And you are able to find it in your invite only, along with all of our other great indicators like Gabe's Eye, STB line, the Big Mac, Gabe's Big Mac, double MECD. Okay. PS asking a lot of questions here. All right. Let's see here. Yeah. Trey can do whatever he wants to do. I have my own gripes with him and his entourage. So I really don't give a fuck about him. Truth be told. Truth be told. Really don't. Let's see. But I'd hope he'd take the opportunity to change as a person and understand that this is a fucking man's game, not little boy, not a little boy's game. And what he was playing back then was little boy shit along with everybody else. Just little boy shit. But anyways, leave it alone. Moving along. Why do you teach certain strategies to trade camp, but not to people who pay Gabe trades? Shouldn't everyone be on the same level if they're paying? Meta Mike, the fuck you talking about? Listen, Gabe trades, you get access to specific indicators. Now, trade camps, you get access to me and my time. You get access to advanced systems. You get access to indicators, stuff that I put my time and hours and effort into developing over for Gabe trades. And the thing is that community is very, very, very healthy and everyone's helping each other, which I like. And that was the whole point of Gabe trades. Why? Because it seems like 1348, the community in itself, there's some people who just feel fucking entitled. And you, my friends, sound like somebody who feels fucking entitled, right? So you want, it ain't nothing free in this game, dude. There's nothing fucking free. So Nelly Perfect says Big Mac D with the chart tracker. Chart tracker over at Gate Trades has alerts. Chart tracker at Gate Trades has alerts. There's benefits right? Those people, they would take trading seriously. This fucker over here trading, like, well, why are you teaching advanced concepts here? Like, fuck, fucking Democrat. Jesus Christ. Anyways, I'll sign it out. I am signing out. I'm done. See, shit like that gets under my skin, right? It really does provoke me. I think people do it on purpose because, I do have a very, very, very short fuse with just entitled people, especially since I came from nothing. I came from absolutely nothing. Still not entitled. You ask the men, right? You ask the men who provide services to me. My barber, I don't act entitled. He gets paid $150 every single time he steps foot in my house. The men who help me and work with me, they get tips. Very, very, very generous. My audio guys, I take care of them and their business. There's no entitlement there. You give me time, I give you pay. That's just the way this works. Oh. Yeah. Anyways, Larry Hoover says we changed his life. That's great. I love to hear it. I love to hear it. I'm out. In Japan, I appreciate that. Well, I don't need no defense. I really don't need no defense. I'm just saying, it's just like people like that. People come in like they have expectations. They want more and more and more. It's just like, bro, like, huh? Doesn't work that way. All right. We're out of here. We're done. This was fun. I gotta make sure I actually close out the stream so it's not running for like 2 freaking hours. There was money made. It was clear as day. Right now, bunch of red candles. Nothing really going on. We don't have a trade design up. Trend tracker is not signaling up. Trend tracker has not alerted you. Guys, go ahead and get on over to game trades. Get trend tracker. Set up the alerts, maybe even on the 1 minute. Wait for 3 bars to print. Enter on the 1 minute. Then make your scalp, make your money, be done with your life. There's so many benefits to trading and you're not looking at the chart. And so that's what we do with Trend Tracker. When you guys back test and you look at Trend Tracker, you will see clearly, you will see with Trend Tracker that it's telling us at the time there's nothing to do, right? Until there's something to do. That is the value in it. Now, if you go ahead and use it on the one and wait for 3 candles to print, 3 Trend Tracker candles in the direction, in your favorite direction, where you want to go. You wait for that to happen. And you're loaded. Come back to the chart. Actionable moments keeps you from being tempted by candles and nonsense and noise. Right? Using alerts. We're in an alerts-driven system. Right? Anyways. Okay, I'm done. We're out of here. I love you all, and I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.